Hello, welcome to the channel. So today is something a bit different. I'm just about to embark on a new boat action army. So this was inspired from my summer holidays. I went to Normandy, spent a day on Omaha Beach, went to the museums and was really inspired to do a Free French Army. There was a really nice M8 tank. In fact, I think I saw a couple of them, but one of them in particular was a Free French M8 HMC as opposed to the armoured car, which is a big mortar carrier, howitzer carrier. So French crewmen with the fairs were pretty cool, and I collected some sand from Omaha Beach, so I'm going to use that sand to base the army. So there is a Free French force. So yeah, what this video is about is me talking a bit about mythology and some of my thoughts on what I'm going to be doing with the project. It's almost like a video blog for myself as well. And once it's finished, you can see how my thoughts have become reality. So, Battle of the Bulge book has a Free French Army list in it. Special rules is sacred ground, so you can make troops stubborn. You can La Resistance, so if you have two 10-man FFIs, Free French Infantry squads, which are like the resistance squad, you can have one for free. And local area knowledge, don't suffer the -1 penalty. Now these rules didn't really interest me that much. I wanted an army which was kind of broke out of Normandy, maybe pushing towards the German border, kind of pulled together some stuff, different equipment, going on missions. So I didn't really want the resistance. Local area knowledge actually is pretty much the same as the American rule for not taking a -1 when you come on the battlefield. There are some quite interesting French units, but again, I like most of my units to be of the same platoon. So again, the chance to do lots of different units didn't really appeal to me. I will come back to the French SAS section. So I actually decided to just use your basic American Army list, as most of these guys will be using American kit. So, building an army. What did I want first? Well, I was inspired by the M8, so I had to get the M8. This is, don't know if it's an effective tank or not. You know what? It's going to be mainly for me, and yeah, it has to be in it. Now, one of the things that appealed to me when I was looking through the list is there's a armoured car, which is an M8 armoured car due to the American way of naming things. So 2 M8s in the same army list, 1 platoon. I want people look at that and scratch their heads, but no, they're 2 different things. It just appeals to me. So yeah, so an M8 scout car as well as the M8 Scott. So that's going to be basically what the army's going to be based around. And because I like puns, it's going to be my friend's army list. 2 mates. So we're going to need some infantry. So got myself the US infantry box. So what I plan with this is my friend has got some of the French sprues. So he's going to give me some of the French heads, which I'm going to sprinkle in. I don't want it to be too much, but yeah, just enough to sprinkle in. So the idea is it's going to be some sort of formation that's got their trucks together, got their Scott. I've got a couple of trucks coming. Scout car, let's say racing around the countryside, a couple of jeeps for transport and stuff. Now, making it French. Oh yes, also got the support group, so machine gun, mortar, and commander and medic. Don't know how much of this I'm going to use in the end, because I fancy making my own officer with a French kepi, and I think that the Warlord sprue has a cigarette smoking hand, so we'll get one of those as well. So starting to build up a wee force. Now we want to make it a bit French, so I got French tank crew. There's a guy on drinking a bottle of something. So just to swap out the crew for the M8 and add a bit of Frenchness to it. There's a really nice diorama at the ACVC ACVC Hub, the charity where our War Games Club meets, and it's Churchill crew, and there's some French. It's parked outside of a French restaurant, and the French owner's passing up some bottles of wine to the crew. So I thought that would be quite cool. And I also got these, which were water slide transfers, but playing cards, French playing card symbols. I don't know how, when, where they were used, but I'm going to use them on my tanks just to make them look a bit different to the Americans. Now, oh yes, one final thing of American kit. I've got my pack howitzer as well, just a wee bit of artillery support there. So that's the basic bulk of my force. Now I wanted to throw one of the special units into the mix, and I wanted to use commandos, French commandos. I quite like the look of the new British and Inter-Allied Commando sprues, and I knew I wanted to do something with them. So how was I going to use it in the list? There's no real commando entries into the... There's no real commando entries in the US lists. But I wanted them to have a kind of mixed up weapons, kind of butting around in a truck, jumping out, supporting the missions. So what I decided to do was use the engineers entry in the army list. So if I quickly look at an engineer squad, so Late Walker making veterans. They've got rifles, 3 additional men with rifles. They can have an NCO, and up to 1 man can have a submachine gun, 2 men can have bars, and 1 man can have a flamethrower. So what I figured I would have is a nice wee squad of about 6 guys using the British Commando sprues. So instead of getting 1 sprue, I've got a really good deal on this thing. So I've actually managed to get myself another bolt action army. So one of those sprues will become French. Again, I used a couple of French heads on them, and needed a flamethrower. So I got that as well. So the jump out, flamethrower, a couple of men with SMGs, a couple of men with bars. I'll use some spare bars off the US infantry kit. So with the addition of a couple of jeeps and a couple of trucks, this is going to be my force. So maybe three trucks. So it's all going to be able to be mounted on trucks. Don't know if I'll use the trucks in every game, but it kind of fits the theme of there's a French force which is on special missions carrying around. They've got some commando supporting them. They've got a couple of vehicles that they've scouted together. A bit like Kelly's Heroes. So I'm quite looking forward to this. Probably be starting to do this in February, March. There's a bolt action tournament actually in Glasgow in May. So this might be the force I get up and painted for that. I think it's going to be 1,500 points, but only 15 order dice. So if I do, I'll probably use one of the big American tanks. So if I can squeeze in dual platoon, I will. But anyway, that's musings for another day. So that's my plan so far. That's my haul. It's been my Christmas present to myself. But yes, so use British models, commando models as an engineer squad. Everything else is going to be based on just standard American frames. And ultimately, it's going to be an army based around a pun of having 2 mates, friends. So I look forward to showing you how it gets done when it gets done. Like I say, it's not a priority. So February, March, but I have got all the stuff lined up for when I want to do it. But anyway, I hope you're having a great time right now. I look forward to chatting to you again in the future. If you've got any quirky ways of doing your forces, let us know, and I'll catch you again. Goodbye.